Hey, how's it going, everybody? It's me, Skull. Welcome to one last time. Welcome to another unboxing. This time, Sanctuary, an Ark Nova game. If you don't know Ark Nova, highly recommend going and doing a bit of research on it. It's a fantastic game, very near the top of the Board Game Geek charts. And this is kind of a spin-off to that. It's not a sequel. It's not a prequel. It's not anything else other than a variation, I think, of the game. I don't know much more about it, so we'll take a dive into it. My assumption is it's a bit less time consuming than Ark Nova, but I don't know if that's strictly true. It does say 12 plus 1 to 5 players and 20 minutes per player. That would make it quite a lot less chunky than Ark Nova. But let's dive into this. In Sanctuary, you are building a modern, scientifically managed zoo for animals and visitors. To do so, you have 135 unique zoo tiles at your disposal, consisting of animals, buildings, and projects. In each game, you try to place the best mix of tiles on your zoo map from your available options. Various tile effects help you to meet conservation objectives and increase the appeal of your zoo. Sanctuary is based on the global bestseller Ark Nova, but modifies and simplifies many of the mechanisms of that game in an elegant and surprising way. It is in this medium weight game, the goal of finding the best possible way to place animals and buildings and projects in your zoo is always exciting and full of variety. We have 135 big zoo tiles, 20 action tiles, 5 tile holders, 5 double-sided zoo maps, 5 double-sided player aids, 1 display board, 1 conservation board, and more than 100 tokens. Without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? Oh, maybe let's not get into it. Hold on. There we go. We're in. Okay, let's start over here, shall we? Because these are the tile trackers. They're pretty chunky. They're pretty hefty. They feel fairly weighty, and this is where you're going to be putting your tiles in. Let's just get these out of the way. Oh, they come in a little box. Let's not get these out of the way. We've got some baggies, but let's pick this little box up, and then we'll have a little look. So you can see here, this has got various animal images on the side and on the base. This is where the tiles are going to go from the look of things. Okay, let's get back to the instructions, shall we? We have the glossary. And I will say Ark Nova did this very well, by having not only a glossary, it had references to each card where it was slightly confusing or where it could have been confusing. So there was a document in here where you could find the card number and go and look at it. And that should be that. But there you go. A 4-page glossary, so that's quite nice. We'll tuck that over there. We have the rulebook, and this is solo as well, but this is... I have seen a quick playthrough of this. I didn't see too much of it, but it looked fairly straightforward. Where you had action cards previously in Ark Nova, they've been replaced by tiles, and I think based on where you are on the action track is still important, but I think that determines what animals and where you can place animals as well, based on your cards. So, okay, that's all of those. There's a 8-page rule book. It doesn't look too bad. There is a scoring pad. It's upside down. There is a scoring pad. Quite a few. Double-sided as well. What is this? This has double-sided sticky tape on it. What do we do with this? Where are we sticking this, I wonder? Intriguing. Okay, well, that's that. We have... sorry, I'll show you what this was. This, I think, is going to be the track. You can see the action numbers from the top to the bottom. This is going to be a track where the tiles move down. People are going to be drafting them from those slots. We have a tracker for where you score your conservation projects. So if you played Ark Nova, you'll be scoring conservation projects. In here, there'll be some goals you're trying to achieve, and you put one of your 4 tokens on one of these. These are going to mix up when you place them down, but you'll be able to put your tokens on here. That's going to help you get scores at the end of the game. What is this telling me? This is telling us that we remove all of the stickers and fold over the edges and press firmly. Okay, intriguing. Oh, so they go this side. That's interesting. So they go this side. So there's a little raised thing. So they work their way down the middle of the track. That's quite nice. I like that. Okay, we then have player boards. I'll take all of them out, but there's obviously 2-sided, and we open it up, and you can see the 2 sides here. So you've got your entrance. You have to place your first tile in line with your entrance, and then you can see there's various marks on the board which are going to achieve things if you cover them up. Equally, there's going to be some tiles that say place near a river. There's going to be some tiles you can see up here. These are on the cards in Ark Nova, but these are more important. Well, not more important in this game, but because there's less complexities in this, these are much simpler but much more prominent, I think, in your scoring for these. You'll also see that there's these. I think these are open space tiles where there's sort of open land in here as well. Some animals will want to be near that. Let's flip this over and have a look at the other side. Feels like this is maybe the simpler side. You've got two open spaces, but they're up in the corner, and I think I presume you have to keep tiles touching, but I'm not 100% sure if that's true. Once you start building this way, you can always start from the entrance again. So there we go. There's the boards, and then we have the tokens. Let's have a little look. That's the end of the things in the box. Let's have a little look at the tokens, shall we, or the tiles. So reasonable size cardstock. Maybe a little thicker would have been a little nicer, but there you go. We can see we've got a jaguar here. There you go. Draw 3 tiles from the pile. Keep 1 animal. So you've got various different things. Let's have a look at the Australian sea lion. Draw 3 tiles and keep 1 animal. So you can see there's a few that are the same. Then we've got some of the action cards. So let me show you some of those as well. There's a Siberian tiger. And then we have some action cards. So you can see this one is maximum animal level. And the way this is going to work, and where are the player boards? What do they do with them? So I'm just going to hopefully be able to show you this. Let me just open this up and place this on here. So as far as I can tell, or as far as I know, your cards, what were your action cards, now your action tiles, are going to work their way along here. And you can see that arrow pointing to the level that this is going to do. I think it would actually slide this way. But when you upgrade it, that arrow is on the other side. So now where it was a 1 action, it's now a 2 action. Where it was a 2 action, it was a 3 action, etc., etc. So by upgrading these, they become more powerful. Play 1 animal with the habitat rock or undefined. This one is play 1 animal with a habitat forest. So you can see they're very different in terms of how the other tiles worked, because the other tiles were very much around, the other cards were very much around kind of this action is very specific to this. I want to find the other action cards. Let me just see if I can find some of those. Bear with me, because there's another 2, just so you can see what they look like. Here they are. Okay, so these ones here are play 1 project in here. Project, I think, are like your sponsors, I think, possibly. And again, you can see it upgraded, and then play 1 animal with water in its thing. So there obviously is a different type of balance to the game that you're going to be trying to achieve. I'll also just push these out because these are a couple of other mechanisms. So you've got ways of scoring. So where we had our score tracker earlier, let's say this one was play animals with water on them. You would, if you got 2 animals, you could put this into your yellow space. You only get 4 of these, I think. You'd put your 2 animals into their space, and therefore you're going to get 2 times 5 when you achieve it. However, you might have 3 animals, in which case you can play your 3 animals one there. So they're all worth multiple points, and they're all multiplications. And these, I think, are when you upgrade cards. So do 2 projects, you can upgrade your card. Is I think how that works. This one, I'm not entirely sure is exactly what this is, but these represent have I upgraded my cards or not. Then let's have a look. There's a load of animals. There's also some tokens here. I think these ones are worth extra points at the end of the game, I think, from memory. There's these ones which count as a wild card when backing a project. You can just use one of those tokens instead. And I think that's it. We'll just quickly, I'll tuck these into this box because I want to try and get everything put away. But you can see here some of the animals. I'll just tuck these in here and you can see what animals are here. Obviously a huge array of various animals, not as much as Ark Nova. The amount of cards in that game is insane. There you go. There's some lizards for you and some reptiles. Here are the primates and pigs, obviously. Little mini pig down here and a donkey. And then we've got some petting zoo animals and a few other bits and pieces. And then we have the projects. You can tell they're projects because of the little project icon. So I think these are a bit like your sponsors from the previous game. Some more projects and some. These are kind of buildings. I think they are. You can see from the little zone here, but they're going to have various things, rules to place them. Place next to two. Here have Australia placements, and then we got water. So various aquariums and stuff for buildings. Then we've got a mixture of a few things, I think. An Australia Pavilion Administration. Doesn't look like there's too many symbols on them, I will say that. And then a few more buildings. And then you got your player reference card, so you can see here how to play. And if we flip this over, there'll be something different, just explaining some of the symbols and obviously some of the free locations here as well. I think that's everything I need to show you in the box. What I will just do very quickly is remove these from here and just tuck these tiles in here so you can see how they sit, and they sit with a load of space in from the looks of things. They're not very tight in this box. And then obviously it doesn't look like it's going to be too complicated to get everything back in the box, but maybe what I'll do is just push out all the tiles, get everything in here, and then show you it in the box so you can see it packed away. But that's Sanctuary. Let me know what you think of this. If you're planning on picking it up, if you've already got it, if you're excited for it, if you're just going to stick with Ark Nova. I'm really intrigued. Find out. I picked this up because one of my gaming group is a massive Ark Nova fan and ultimately always wants to play it, and the rest of the group aren't so keen. Not because we don't like the game, just because it goes on for a very long time, and hopefully this is a way to appease some of that by still feeling like Ark Nova, but in a more condensed package. I like Ark Nova. I suspect me and the one friend will play Ark Nova on Board Game Arena more often than actually get it to the table going forward. But this I'm excited to see what the feeling is towards this. Let me put a pause in here. I'll get everything put back into the box so you can see how it is in the box. I'll set up this mat here as well, and then we'll wrap up. Okay, we are back. We've got most of the items in here. The first thing I want to show you is this. I'm surprised they didn't just print this as a double-sided board, but maybe I presume this was the cheaper way of getting these things stuck down. But what that means is that when you play your tiles out on this board, and bear in mind they're going to kind of work their way down, they don't slide out. So it just keeps them in a location there. And you can see these all fit pretty nicely, not too tight in here. Obviously rules out a bit of expansions from the looks of things. We can tuck this in here. We also have the scoreboard there. Then we have 4 player references. So we'll tuck those in here. And then I've just put each one in their own bags. Each player, I like doing that just so it's quick to set up, really. You don't have to get all of them out and filter through them. Then we've got a mixture of some of the tokens. I'll probably split these into individual bags, but really I just wanted to show you that the lid goes on top and there is no lift, which is very, very nice. There we go. That was Sanctuary. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, like button, subscribe button, all of those things. If you're going to play Sanctuary, let me know. Let me know your thoughts. We'll try and get to the table solo at some point. I take it it's solo. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, 1 to 5 player. We'll get it to the table solo at some point. But equally, I will put my thoughts on Patreon as to the multiplayer, because I suspect I'm going to play that first. And you'll be able to go and see that over there if you want to support the Patreon. There's lots of content over there, and you get access to all of the videos that we record. Learning how to play this will be one of them, but equally there's a load of playthroughs on there as well. Thank you so much. I'll see you again soon.